Hello dear students, I am Betsy Miss here and today we will begin with chapter 2 of grammar, English grammar, that is parts of speech. In this lesson, you are going to learn about the 8 different parts of speech. You already know the basics of it and we are going to brush through it in this lesson. So shall we begin? Words are divided into different classes according to the function they perform in a sentence. These words are called parts of speech. There are 8 parts of speech. So these 8 parts of speech, these are words that are categorized into 8 different classes. And why 8 different classes? Because of the different function they perform in a sentence. They are noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction and interjection. Let's first learn about the noun. Observe the following sentences. Ravi is the monitor of the class. The journey from Mumbai to New Delhi was quite tiring. In both the examples, the words Ravi, monitor, class, journey, Mumbai and New Delhi are the underlined words and are the names that are given to persons or places or animals or birds or things, and hence such words are called as nouns. In definition, a noun is a name of a person, place, animal, bird or thing. Next, let us learn about the pronoun. Look at the following sentences and note the link between the underlined words and the words in the bold typeface. The students of class 6 fared well in the test. They were happy. Let us look at the second example. Mumbai is a dream city. It is densely populated. The underlined words refer to the words in bold print. They are called pronouns as they stand in place of their corresponding nouns. By definition, a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun in a sentence. So by the examples that are given over here, for example, the students, they are referred to by another word, that is they. They were happy. The students of class 6 fared well in the test. The students of class 6 were happy. Instead of making it a very big and complicated sentence, instead of mentioning the students of class 6 again, in the next sentence, they used the word they. Mumbai, in the second example, Mumbai is a dream city. Mumbai is a noun in the sentence. Now, if I want to say something more about Mumbai, I do not have to write in the next sentence the word Mumbai again. Mumbai is densely populated. Instead, I can write it is densely populated. And here, it, the word it, is acting as a pronoun to the noun word or to the noun Mumbai. Let's learn about the adjective now. Look at the sentences and find out what the work of the underlined word is. Sanjay has 2 sisters. They bought a new car. Here, each underlined word gives us more information about some noun in the sentence. These underlined words describe the nouns either by way of quality or quantity. Such words are called adjectives. So what are adjectives in simple terms? Adjectives are those words that give or describe the nouns, either by the way of quality, how good it is, how bad it is, what is the quality of the noun, or the quantity, maybe the number of noun. Okay, like for example, look at the first sentence. Sanjay has 2 sisters. Now sisters and Sanjay are the nouns in the sentence. How many sisters does Sanjay have? He has 2 sisters. So here you are talking about the quantity or the number of sisters Sanjay has. Hence, the word 2 is acting as an adjective in this sentence. Look at the second example. They bought a new car. The noun in the sentence is car. How is the car? The car is new. So the word new is describing the quality of the noun that is the car. The word new describes the car. Is it old? Is it new? Is it good looking? Is it black? Is it red? Is it white? Okay, so the word that describes more about the noun is called as the adjective. Let us look at the category of verbs now. Find out what each of the underlined words shows in the following sentences. Pradeep likes tea, but without milk. The farmer is ploughing the field. You may have observed that each of the underlined words shows an action done by someone. Such words denoting action or actions are called verbs. However, the verb or the infinitive to have and to be do not show any action, but they show possession and existence respectively, as illustrated in the following examples. We are thirsty. He is very lazy. So, sometimes the verbs, most of the times the verbs are those words that are showing some kind of action or actions done by someone. Okay, like in the first 2 examples, Pradeep likes tea but without milk. Okay, and the farmer is ploughing the field. Ploughing is a type of action. But when you see the last 2 examples, we are thirsty, he is very lazy. Here the verb is in the infinitive form and is either showing some kind of possession or existence. Okay, so the words are, is. Sometimes other examples of such infinitive verbs are have, has, am. Okay, these words act as verbs. Let's come to the 5th category of parts of speech, the adverb. There are some words in English that show us how or when or where or how often an action was done. You can look at these examples that are given below. The little girl spoke politely to her teacher. I am leaving for Pune now. The words in a different typeface give us more information of the actions done as denoted by the verb. Such words are called adverbs. Generally, they modify a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Okay, so an adverb in simpler terms is a word that modifies a verb or an adjective or another adverb. Looking at the first example, the little girl spoke. Spoke is the verb. How did she speak? She spoke politely to her teacher. So how she spoke? Politely. The word politely is acting as an adverb. I am leaving for Pune now. Leaving is the verb here. Okay, I am leaving for Pune. When am I leaving? I'm leaving for Pune now. So, now is acting as an adverb to the verb leaving. Look Look at the examples given here and note the use of the words. Let us learn how these words are representing the next category of the parts of speech, that is preposition. The cat is sleeping under the chair. An apple fell from the tree. These words show a connection between two things mentioned in the sentence. They are known as prepositions. Some common prepositions are above, across, among, as, at, beneath, between, by, for, from, in, into, of, on, to, under, with, and etc. Okay? So a preposition is a word that shows a relationship between two things. The cat and the chair. The cat and the chair. The cat is sleeping under the chair. So the cat is sleeping, and there is some kind of relationship the sentence is showing between these two nouns, that is the cat and the chair. That is, the cat is sleeping but under the chair. Okay, so under acts as a preposition in this sentence. An apple fell from the tree. The two nouns, that is apple and tree, there is some connection between these two nouns that is shown in this sentence. An apple fell from the tree. Okay, so from the tree the apple fell. So the word from is acting as a preposition. Let's learn the next part of speech, conjunction. Observe the sentences given on one column and given in the other column and see how they are reframed in the second column. What conclusion can you draw? Look at the first sentence. The sun gives us light. It also gives us heat. This two sentences is reframed in the second column like this. The sun gives us light and heat. Look at the second example. Tim ran for the bus. He missed it. In column B, Tim ran for the bus, but he missed it. In the sentences in column B, a certain word has been used to combine two words or sentences from the previous column. Such words are known as conjunctions. A conjunction is a word that joins two or more words or clauses or sentences. So, for example, the first example, the sun gives us light, it also gives us heat. There are two sentences over here, and when these two sentences was reframed with the help of a conjunction, both the sentences was merged together. The sun gives us light and heat. So there was no need to write two different sentences, but whatever you wanted to convey through the two sentences was conveyed through one sentence itself with the help of one additional word and, which is acting as a conjunction. The sun gives us light and heat. So the word and is the conjunction over here. Let us look at the second example. Tim ran for the bus. He missed it. Two sentences again. And I want to write it in one sentence itself with the help of a conjunction. So I write, Tim ran for the bus, comma, but he missed it. He tried to catch the bus, but he missed it. So the word but is joining the two sentences and merging into one sentence. The word but, so the word but is acting as conjunction. Let us learn the last type of the part of speech, that is interjection. In the following sentences, it is clearly illustrated the use of some special words that are used to express a certain idea or feeling or emotion. Such words are called interjections. Let us look at the examples. The first example. Oh, what a wonderful gift this is! Alas, the thief has been caught. The words, oh, alas, is expressed with one exclamation point, showing that these words are showing some kind of sudden idea or feeling or high amount of emotion. The words that are used to express a sudden idea, an emotion or feeling is called as an interjection. Therefore, in the first example, oh is an example of the interjection, and in the second example, the word alas is the example of interjection.